When One Football approached Hammers Chat and they asked if they could sponsor our videos in exchange for us basically promoting them, it's a decent exchange. They give us some money to sponsor our videos, helps Hammers Chat out. We publicise their app. It's a good app. I thought, fine. I thought, actually, what I'll do is I'll try and tie it up with doing the news roundup, which is where these videos came from. When I agreed to do it, little did I expect any controversy. I just didn't. So you can imagine my surprise when I picked up the phone yesterday, as you watch this, and I saw the headline, same old story. I'll screenshot it, I'll pop it up wherever, I don't know yet. I haven't decided, same old story. And the article is basically about West Ham taking too long over a transfer and then potentially losing out on a player. I thought, oh, this is a bit feisty. I mean, One Football normally do the news and there'll be sort of safe stories, but this was an opinion piece. So, and I just thought it was a really, really interesting one to sort of base the video around because, as you know, for the past couple of days, because of the Atlanta game, I didn't want to get particularly into it. But my word, it annoyed me. And after it annoyed me, I tried to play devil's advocate with it. Look, the player's Milenkovic, and I am aware that by the time this video goes out, he may well have signed. Because the two clubs, i.e. Fiorentina and West Ham, are a little bit apart in their valuation of a player. And I think we've taken so long to get players over the line. I just thought, come on, just get it done. Apparently, we were dealing with 2.5 million. I might have this slightly wrong. I think Fiorentina valued him at 14.5. We valued him at 12. It was so close. And that 2.5 million disparity is not 2.5 million out of West Ham's pocket. I mean, surely there's some middle ground in the mid, you know, well, of course, any middle ground's in the middle, right? Otherwise it would be middle ground, wouldn't it be sort of edge ground? I don't know, grass verge, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? My point is, surely there's somewhere in the middle. Is it just me who was shouting 13 million? 13 million then? Or just pay the 14.5? Because he's cheap anyway, because he's got 1 year left on his contract. You're getting more player than £14 million worth or euros or whatever it might be. I just found it frustrating, particularly given this is a familiar pattern for West Ham, you know. So and anyway, it was just interesting. I've got some views on it. Before I do, if you haven't downloaded the One Football app, please do so. The link is in the description below. You can tailor it if you don't already. You can tailor it to your own specifications. I've only got odds on set to West Ham and England. I discount Tottenham or anything else, just West Ham and England. So when my phone pings up with that sort of notification that you just saw there, it's just giving me the West Ham news. They put all the West Ham news together so you don't have to. It's free. You're helping us out by clicking the link below and using that as a means to download it. If you don't like it, you can just delete it afterwards. But it's very good. We've been using this app a long, long time. And you can see by the type of stories, it is pertinent and relevant to us as West Ham fans. Sorry, I wasn't blowing you. There was a bit. Did anyone see a bit of fluff? You probably thought. You probably didn't see it. You probably thought it was me. It's him going mad again. Anyway, so this player, I'm missing out on this player. And I do want to go on to just speak about Tammy Abrahams in a minute as well, and Divock Origi. But before I do, let me just give you my opinion on this Milenkovic deal, because I found it frustrating for those reasons. But then I thought, no, hold on a second. Actually, I don't mind them playing the game with this one, because this one's not the urgency. And then I thought, well, I don't have all the facts here. So I sort of played out a pretend scenario in my head, if you will go with me on this pretend scenario. Let's say David Moyes has been given an amount of money by David Sullivan, 40 million, let's say, right? It might not be whatever. Anyway, make the figure up in your mind. And David Moyes decided that he wants, for argument's sake, I know we need more, but for argument's sake, David Moyes needs 2 players from this 40 million. The rest are going to be bought in on frees or loans or whatever, right? David Moyes has got his eye on a striker, which I think we can all agree is the priority position, right? David Moyes has got his eye on a striker. And just imagine that David Sullivan's doing these negotiations and actually he might be turning around to David Moyes. I think we've all discounted that there's any exchange of information between them, and it might just be, and I would say, maybe, just maybe, David Sullivan's turned around and said, look, Moisey baby, that's how they speak to each other. He says, Moisey baby, this player, this Milenkovic, he's is now looking at sort of 14 million, 14.5 million. Do you want me to press yes on this transfer? Because that's what they do. They press yes on a transfer. That's how all transfers are done. We all know that, right? Do you want me to press yes on this transfer and do it? But obviously, that's going to mean you get £2 million less for your striker. Maybe, just maybe, David Moyes thought, oh, hold on a second. Okay, let's play a bit of hardball on this and let's just get the striker. Now, I do understand that theory is blown out of the water by the fact we don't have a striker yet. But I sort of didn't mind the negotiation being drawn out on the defender as much. I just found it frustrating because of the history of it. I just thought, come on, Sullivan, get the deal done. But I didn't call him baby like he calls David Moyes baby. Just get the deal done, son. But I don't want any of that dithering or that dilly-dally with the striker. The centre-back is not as massive urgency because I think against Newcastle, who, as I said when I did the live show yesterday, it's delightful that they've got Callum Wilson, Alan Saint-Maximin back fit and firing. How lovely of them to get ready just so as they can... they're annoying me at the moment, Newcastle, anyway, because they're, as I say, they've become a bit of a bogey team for us. But when we line up against them, we have a good selection of centre-halves. Even if one of them were to drop out, and if Bonner didn't make it, we got some centre-halves to play. I don't find we're in that position with the striker, which is why the striker is the priority. Antonio drops out, we're in a little bit of trouble. But I have changed my view on David Moyes' desire to bring a centre-half in. I understand it. If Bonner's out, he needs another senior centre-back or someone that he trusts. And I get it. He's been looking to buy one for a couple of seasons now. It makes sense. And then if we do that, then really Dawson becomes Balbuena's replacement, if that makes sense. So that's fine. But I just hope... I understand... I guess if you're into this sort of thing, when I say this sort of thing, I mean doing deals. And I don't just mean football deals, I mean business deals. I guess there's a certain buzz and there's a certain thrill to getting the best price and you know, coming out the deal thinking, oh yes, you know, I've done well there. Fine. But at some point you just need to get it done. And I don't want them to do that with the striker. That's my point. You don't bid. If it comes down to a club, now as I understand it, Fiorentina want to sell us Milenkovic. Okay? So brilliant. Then surely the deal can be done. If we find a club who we like the striker and the club are willing to sell us the striker, then don't penny pinch over a couple of million here or there. I think that's really, really important, by the way. It may well turn out, as I say, and I think it probably will, the Milenkovic deal gets done. Brilliant. That's great. So, lights gone out again. I'm sorting it out. The man cave is going to be undergoing some restorations. No, not restorations. Renovations. That's the one. Anyway, so that's that. The Tammy Abraham one I really like now because both Chelsea have said, such conflicting reports from day to day, but Chelsea have said that they're not shifting from 40 million, and I think Abrahams has pretty much said he'd rather not go and leave Chelsea unless it's to Arsenal. I think that's good because I think that just forces us into a decision. I think that's almost what we need in this instance, so as you know, almost getting dumped basically, so as so as you're not hanging on just in case things change. We've actually been dumped, we've been elbowed, you know. Basically it ain't happening, and I think that's just the indication for us, the instruction for us to move on to the next target. Just go. Farewell, Tammy. We could have been something, but I'm not bothered. You know this. I'm not too bothered about that. I don't think he's not a £40 million player. I don't care what anyone says. Maybe he might be one day, but he ain't one now. The other thing is Divock Origi sort of touched on this in the live show yesterday, and I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I really don't. There was also the rumour that Nat Phillips might be available on a try before you buy sort of scheme. If you want buy one, get one free. Maybe it is that. Maybe it's buy one, get one free. Maybe you buy Origi and you get Nat Phillips free. I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I think he's a good age. I think he is a good calibre. And at some point, he's probably going to be looking at the other people in the Belgium squad, and Lukaku. And I know Lukaku's probably going to take some shifting from the number one striker role in there. but he's going to be looking at other people like Batshuayi, and I just wonder if he's going to be thinking, actually, there's room for me to make myself the next go-to guy in the Belgian squad if I can get regular time in the Premier League. And you've got to fancy yourself as a striker, surely. Well, not just a striker, as a footballer. I doubt there are too many footballers who don't have. You've got to have a bit of an ego. You, particularly as a striker, you've got to fancy yourself that you are going to score 20 goals at some point, and that you are more gifted or better than other players. And, you know, if he's got a little bit about Origi and a little bit of that, why not? Why not come to West Ham? There was a comment on yesterday's video, and I do sort of get it. And somebody said, excuse me for not being able to screenshot it or put it up. But somebody said, why would Origi leave Liverpool's bench to come and warm ours? Yeah, I sort of get that. And I do agree with that. But you have to expect that if he was on our bench, he would get off of our bench a lot more frequently at Liverpool's, because Firmino, always get me Firminos and me Fabinhos mixed up. I think I got it right in this sense. Firmino is far less injury prone. I think it's fair to say, and than Antonio, obviously, is what I'm talking about. He's not only is he not going to be a bench warmer at West Ham, he's going to get starts and he'd get plenty of them. I don't mind. Is it my dream striker? No, I've said, for some time now. As soon as I saw Youssef En-Nesyri, I thought, this is the guy. This is the guy for West Ham. But I don't think we're going to get him. I don't think we're going to get Hlosek. I don't. So, if we're into the realms of somebody else, I do think we need to get somebody. That's for sure. I don't want to see every time Antonio gets injured, Jarrod Bowen being shoehorned up there. I think Jarrod Bowen's got a good role to play elsewhere in the team. There's no doubt about that at all. So, there you go. That's what I think about that one. Anyway, there's a few other bits and pieces on the app here. A lot of it we've been linked with a Fulham youngster. We'll just have to see how it goes. What I do, his name's hold on, I'm not doing this without glasses. Fabio Carvalho. He's an England under something international. What's making me laugh is every time I see, I think it's Leeds and West Ham are linked with such and such. Why are we getting chucked in with Leeds all the time? It is funny for almost every single player. There's another story about Declan Rice being here next season. We'll deal with that. That's another video. You don't want to spread yourself too thinly, and you don't want to spread your Declan Rice stories too thinly. So we'll deal with that maybe tomorrow or the week after. But the week after or the day after. But this is exciting time. We've got to build up to the season now. So certainly for us West Ham fans, the season starts, and it's time to. I was going to say time to get excited or miserable or whatever the case may be. It's that time, worried, apprehensive, whatever it is you feel at the start of the season. Now's the time to do it. So we'll be back. We've got our previews. We'll be back with previews, reviews. On Patreon, we're going to have the breakfast show and all of that stuff, and opposition previews and player ratings and all the stuff. There's lots. This is big. I'll tell you what, with European football, we've got a big old season ahead of us, that's for sure. There's going to be a lot of games, a lot of chit-chat, lots of videos. I hopefully get to a few games as well, which would be good. I did miss it. I did miss it when Tony was sending through the videos of all the lads and whatnot. That looked really good fun. So I'm looking forward to getting there, getting back down the boats and just doing everything. Canning Town Lane is about to open up his Hammers Chat shop, which is going to be really, really interesting. So we'll be dealing with that this week as well. And also Gio's been working hard on so Canning Town Lane's doing a Hammers Chat art shop. And Gio's been working really hard on some really, I say exciting product. How excited is a mug and a t-shirt and a scarf and whatnot? I say excited. I'm really excited. But no, some things we're quite pleased about, certainly. So we'll look forward to sharing those with you. And anyway, right, I'm going to go now. I've got a long drive ahead of me. So I will see you back here tomorrow at some point. Until then, thank you for tuning in.